Hey gang, I'm back. This is Carlos Valdez, here to do another quick review on the newest drone that I got from EXO, which is the Cinemaster 2. This is going to be a quick unboxing video. I know my Blackhawk video went really long, so I just wanted to do a quick unboxing of it and talk about just a few things. I do plan on doing a more detailed review as far as my flight experience. Unfortunately, it's after 5 o'clock here in upstate New York by the time I got home, and it's pretty dark out. So although I did get to fly it a little bit, I unfortunately didn't get to capture much video or photo that would be useful to post on here. So this is the box that it came in, and I have to tell you that I'm thoroughly impressed with something that happened here. I did a Blackhawk review, and the guys at EXO saw that review, so I got kind of a little present or surprise inside the box, so I'll talk about that in just a second. So here's the box initially comes in, and of course it says awesome drone inside. When you open this box, obviously you have your Cinemaster 2 box. There it is there. And I have to tell you, after doing my Blackhawk review, to my surprise, I was not aware. When I opened the box, this is what I found, and this was really, really cool, guys. I have to tell you, never too impressed with this team at EXO. I opened the box, and inside, the first thing that I see is a hand. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a handwritten Post-it note. So let me read to you guys what that says. Handwritten Post-it note from the EXO team, and it says, "Hey Carlos, we watched your review video on the Blackhawk. We really appreciate your support. Happy flying from the warehouse team, Ben and Hunter." So listen, if you see this, Ben and Hunter, 2 thumbs up to you guys. That is so awesome that you guys would take the time to write me a personal note. I want you to know I'm going to save this inside my box. That's really, really cool of you guys, man. I can't say how excited I was when I saw that. Didn't even expect it. Inside the box, now I already had this out, but I wanted to kind of tell you guys or show you guys how it comes packed. It's wrapped in plastic, and then take the plastic off. You have this nice little case, hard case. So it's not really a hard case, but it's hard enough where it's going to protect the drone. So I kind of would call this like a soft hard case. Really, really cool though. Probably my favorite case of all the EXO drones that I have. So I now have the Ranger, the Blackhawk, I have the Cinemaster 2 now, and I just a day and a half ago, actually yesterday morning, ordered the Scout. So I'm gonna have them all. I'll do a review on that, but I opened this up, and I apologize for the angle here, guys. Again, I'm in my bedroom. My wife works from home, so not the ideal place to do a review, but as I open this up, this is how it came packed. Now I went ahead and got the 2 battery version of the Cinemaster 2, but I also bought an extra battery. So now I have 3 batteries. Okay, I've got your, I'll start with the controller real quick. Take it out, and pretty good, you know. Doesn't feel cheap. Doesn't feel flimsy. I like it. Somebody did a review on the EXO drone orders page, and they talked about a problem with their phone setting up on here. And let me tell you, I don't know if it was just their particular remote, but mine is, you know, as you can see, it's perfect there. So when you pull your phone holder out, you do have to pull it all the way out, and then there's a little flap down here. Once you pull it all the way out, there's a little flap, and your phone sits inside of here and here. And one of the things that they were talking about is, if you see there, it looks like your phone's going to kind of be in the way here. Well, this here actually flips forward, so when my phone sits in there, it doesn't interfere with the antennas at all. So there was a person that on the EXO page that had commented on that. I don't know if it was just his particular controller, but my phone sat in there just fine when I flew it earlier. Sits in there, has no interference with the antennas, which of course you can, you know, point in different directions if you want to. So I'll put this away. Overall, I'm happy with the controller. I'll do a review of the functions and whatnot when I actually get to fly this thing for some kind of extensive period of time. I did fly it a little bit, like I said, today, and I'll talk about what just my initial thoughts were. Okay, so again, I have the controller, I have my 3 batteries, 1, 2, and 1 in the drone. You know, batteries are pretty standard. And I'll pull the drone out here. Okay, here it is. It's pretty long and narrow, which is kind of cool. It helps to see it in person, but essentially you open it up here. This is the front, and then you flip the 2 legs down. Okay, and then the back legs, of course, they open up. Okay, and here's the drone completely open. A little smaller than my Black Hawk, but overall pretty impressed with the design. Now, one thing that I will talk about that we have to, a couple things, just initial thoughts here, guys, so I won't make this video too long. Okay, this gimbal cover, a little challenging to get off. Okay, like anything else, you have to treat these pieces of equipment with care. I don't care if you own a DJI, I don't care if you own an EXO or any other drone. These are delicate pieces of equipment, so when you're taking it off and putting it on, be very, very, very careful. I found it a little bit tricky from the start, but I noticed I pinch the sides, and then I have to kind of pry up on the bottom here, and then I kind of have to unlatch it from the top, okay, and then lift it off. Okay, it's interesting how this goes on. Very, very secure once it's on there, but you have to be careful because, again, these are delicate pieces of equipment. Okay, they're made to have some dampening, as you see, so don't go crazy. Treat this with care and be very, very careful with it. I'll turn it on real quick just so you guys can see the startup sequence. Okay, it's got some lights on the back. My battery is actually pretty low, so it's not going to go through and connect anything. I don't have the remote sunk up. So let me turn this sucker back off. Okay, now, initially a couple things that I noticed other than the gimbal. Okay, the battery. Okay, one very, very, very common problem that I anticipate users are going to make or probably have already made. So I'm going to set this down and just show you guys one of the other batteries. Now, the batteries come packed with this little, I'll show you, the batteries come packed like this. Now, if you notice, there's a little piece of foam on here. Okay, you can just lift it off. Okay, when the drone comes to you, whether you get the 1 battery version, the 2 battery version, or even if you buy an extra battery like I did, they all have this foam. So if I take the battery off the drone, just to kind of show you guys, when it comes in the packaging, this is how it comes, just like that there. So be very, very careful, because as you can see, that battery is not all the way in there. I'm not sure if anyone has ever inadvertently put their tried to force their battery on, not thinking that they need to remove that, but you do need to remove that little piece of foam. And the other thing that I noticed on the battery is it's got these latches. I'm hoping you can see that. So when you put it on here, you kind of just, you set it on there and then it kind of clicks in. But if you notice, see this button? See how it's kind of still slightly depressed, okay? This is how you take it off. You press down and then pull to the side or pull backwards and it lifts off. So when you put it on there and you slide it on, this button's still kind of depressed. So I found, for me personally, I don't like that. I don't like my battery jarring loose up in the air and stopping my my propellers and coming crashing down. So what I'm going to do is I kind of just tapped it a little bit on the top there, and I found that made, as you can see, it's very, very securely latched on now. So it's not depressed anymore. I just kind of tapped it a little bit. Just a trick of the trade, I guess. I like my batteries to be real secure. So that's that. As far as my first impressions, since again this is just an unboxing, I'll talk about those in a second. In with the case, as we open up the zipper here, what you get is it looks like a spare set of propellers. Okay, I will say I'm not sure if there's 1 set or 2 sets in here, so I'm going to assume it's one set. I'll let you guys know in a second. Yep, one set of spare propellers. And then you also get, of course, I got the 2 battery version. So in this bag here, I won't open it. Well, actually I will, because I got to charge my batteries at this point. You get your 2 USB to USB-C cables, one for each battery. I'll have to use one, either get an extra one or do something different because I have 3 batteries. Again, those are the propellers. And then you also get a screwdriver, of course. Screwdriver to change your propellers out. So that's kind of cool. Most drones have that. I'm glad EXO decided to include that. And of course you get your quick start guide and I believe a manual. Yep. So sorry about that. So you get your quick start guide and your full user manual. Recommend that you read these 100%, guys. When you get excited with your new drone, you can't really fly too much at night, especially for me in upstate New York. So I'm going to be spending some time this evening reading my manual and learning all about my drone. As far as initial impressions, I will say this. Also comes with this piece of foam, which I'm going to go ahead and keep just for safekeeping there. So, impressions of the drone when I flew it. I didn't get to fly it a whole lot. I just kind of killed the one battery that I had bought separately that had arrived a couple days ago. Charged it up. Have not charged the 2 batteries that came with the drone, so I'll be doing that this evening in hopes to get some more flight time tomorrow. My initial impressions of the drone, I have to tell you, wow. Pretty impressed. Now, a couple tips for you guys. I put my phone in airplane mode. I make sure to do that anytime I'm flying a drone. This is a Wi-Fi drone, so all I do is turn on my Wi-Fi antenna. One thing that I did notice for iPhone, I'd had some trouble connecting initially, and what I found is if you go to your settings and you go to the X-Drone app, which is the app that this Cinemaster 2 flies on, you have to turn on local network. Mine was off, and with access to my local network turned off, for some reason it wouldn't connect. So maybe that's a tip for folks. If you're using an iPhone, you might want to make sure that that's enabled. Connected to the drone's Wi-Fi. Didn't have an issue doing that. Once my local network was enabled, I put it on airplane mode. I connected to the drone's Wi-Fi, fired up the controller, fired up the app, and everything was smooth. Did my calibration real slow, real smooth. And let me tell you, she sprung up and hovered perfectly. This thing here hovers, I have to tell you, just as good as my Mavic Mini. I really mean that, guys. I think it hovers perfect if you do your calibration correctly. The one thing that I did find is as I'm flying around, if you're in sport mode, when you fly around, if it drifts a little bit on you, I noticed that it drifted just a little bit on me. For example, if I came from 30 feet out towards myself and then I suddenly just let off the controls and stopped, I found that it drifted a little bit, but then kind of drifted back and hovered very nicely in place. I will say that's a common thing that I have found when I've been flying a Wi-Fi drone. My Ranger's the same way. So a tip for you guys is, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again and again and again. Learn how to control your movements and not be jerky with your drones. Learn how to, as you're, even if you got to come from 50 feet away and you're coming at a fast pace, as you're getting closer, slow down a little bit and smooth it out as you get close to you. You'll find that your drone will drift a lot less. Your drone will not toilet bowl. Again, very, very impressed. I have to say, the most impressive thing that I encountered today, and I can't tell you how happy I was with that, was the actual handwritten note that I got from this team. I have really been a loyal EXO customer for a while now. I have most of their drones. I don't have the Ranger Plus, although that's not totally out of the question for me. I might get it one day. But I have the Ranger, I have the Blackhawk, I now have the Cinemaster, and I just ordered a Scout, which I'm excited to receive as well. Just something to mess around with inside the house. But overall, my initial thoughts, I'm very impressed with this drone. I cannot wait to get out there and fly a little bit more. I flew it for I got about 26 minutes of flight time. I wasn't really taking video and I wasn't really going crazy. I was really just hovering and practicing my movements since I'm new to this drone. But I have to tell you, I'm pretty impressed. I did go up about probably 150 feet or so, maybe a little more, and I probably went about 250 feet out and then brought it back. And no issues, no drifting, no real issues so far. So very impressed. I do plan on flying tomorrow during the day. On my lunch break, I get a pretty long lunch break at work, so I'll try and take some footage and post that to the EXO drone owners page. I'll plug that real quick. If you haven't joined the EXO drone owners page, drones owners page on Facebook, make sure you join. It's full of people that are just enthusiasts and fans of EXO drones, and I love to contribute content to there. So I'm gonna wrap it up for this video. Again, that's the unboxing. I'm not a professional YouTuber or a professional reviewer, so that's just as real as I can be. Absolutely impressed with this drone. Absolutely impressed with the EXO team. Once again, delivers for me. So more to come, more footage and pictures to come, and I will see you guys in the sky, and happy flying, gang.